My name is Jacky Ziyi Zheng. I'm studying Masters of Architecture degree at University of Auckland. I'm the architectural designer of the winning team for the Architectural Competition 2019. This is a competition organized by Grants NZ, open for university students in their last year of study. This year's competition was held in Christchurch. The aim of the competition was to bridge the connection between the architectural studies, project management studies, and engineering studies to prepare the students for the industry where different disciplines work together in a collective environment, and also to build the capability we need to meet the challenges facing our industry. This year's brief was about innovative sustainable design, particularly responding to the issue of climate change. Recently, New Zealand's Parliament has introduced the Zero Carbon Bill, preparing New Zealand to transition into a net zero carbon economy. Cities such as Christchurch have set targets to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and to become carbon neutral by 2030. The challenge now becomes how do we design to meet the net zero requirements, and how do we design a future-proof building? In working towards Christchurch's carbon goals and ambitions, we have been invited to push a concept design for the Christchurch-based organization community, solving climate change that seeks to facilitate a zero-carbon city through buildings that have low environmental impacts and promote zero-carbon building design and use. The site of the project is a piece of land at the heart of Christchurch's central business district. We were requested to use this as an opportunity to model what is possible when a built environment embraces and embodies zero-carbon designs, and how can this influence and inspire the community. We are a team of 3 university students. As mentioned previously, I am the architectural designer of the team. Our engineer was Tony Wan, an engineering student from Auckland University, and our project manager was Luke Thompson, a construction management student from Unitec. I was very lucky to be able to work with these 2 extremely talented students. As a team, we all gave our input to the design. My task was to come up with the design concepts of the project, giving the project characteristics and respond to design requirements. Our engineer Tony Wan would then look at the designs to provide structure statements and loading calculations, while our project manager plans out construction stages and to provide quantity surveys. Our design concept was to create a community garden which addresses the historic settings of the local Avon River. The Avon River was regarded as a place of abundance in traditional food and resources. It was also known as the Otakaru, which means a place of game, named after the children playing at the bank while the food was collected. This became the starting point to our design, as we call the project Otakaru Community Center. This project aims to playfully embrace the historic context of the site while implementing sustainable design strategies to allow the buildings to meet the low carbon requirements. There are 3 core concepts to the design of the community center. They are the community, the education, and the low carbon. The concept of the community is shown through the communal garden and the restaurant, which forms a place of gathering. The concept of education is where the rooftop garden space, which aims to teach younger generations on sustainable living and spread innovative ideas. And thirdly, the concept of low carbon is done through both passive and active sustainable design strategies. The passive design strategies include the correct orientation of buildings, use of solar tubes, living facades, and water cycle systems. The active design strategies include the base isolators and smart screens. Through the implementations of these concepts, we aim to not only create a low-carbon community center, but also a building that could inspire younger generation about sustainable living and have a communal impact. For me, architecture is all about creative design thinking, its ability to critically address issues and adapt to clients' needs, while also playfully and creatively coming up with design strategies. There's a fine balance there. At school, we focus mainly on creative side of stuff, and occasionally we will do projects that have a certain level of practicality. However, I'm more personally interested in the creative side of things. Being able to express creative thoughts through visually is very exciting things. It allows us to create narratives, to convey moods, to express emotions, and so on. I think creativity comes from our own individual experience and interests. It's something that is unique to each individual. On the other hand, the ability to communicate creative ideas is also very important. Many students struggle with technical skills and communicate design ideas, and I see this particularly evident in first years of university studies. Some students are very fortunate to have backgrounds in graphic design and fine arts, while others who do not have these foundations tend to spend longer learning these skills. I think it becomes very important to become able to learn these skills beforehand to prepare for design-related degrees such as graphic design and architectural design. TD Design is a good platform that allows young students to build up their foundations as well as explore their own creative interests. Being able to be part of a group really helps students in working their creative journey. Once the student masters the foundation of design, they can start to experiment more with these skills to develop a style and methodology that best communicate their creative design ideas.